good, Russell?
Oh, nothing much. I'm out
We're
here.
here back again, everybody. It's Spyke Vonshadow.
And Russell Hamilton.
Yes, bringing you new, fun, interesting stories that will leave you speechless and hopefully breathless. Hopefully.
I'm a little freezing cold right now. I'm outside of my car, and it's like 28 degrees or something out here.
Oh, it's freezing up here in Michigan, dude.
I can't imagine. I'm in Tennessee, so I'm a lot further south than you are, so I imagine it's even colder up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the heat turned on. I got the car turned on, heat's on, so hopefully it gets warm here in a minute. But, so what's been going on with you today?
Oh, man, just working and handling YouTube and now here, you know.
Yeah. Did you see, I don't know if you've been on Facebook or not, but did you see what Kenny did? Now, for those of you listening, Kenny's my stepfather. Did you see what he did?
What did he do?
There was it's kind of ironic that it happened today because with all the fires that have been going on in Tennessee, there was a fire in Michigan today.
What?
But it wasn't like a wildfire or anything. It was this lady's house caught on fire. And Kenny and my mom and Kenny and my brother David, they were all there to see it. And they were there when it happened, when the house caught on fire. And, like, this lady, I guess she didn't even know her house was on fire, dude. And Kenny, like, this is some stuff like you'd see in, like, a superhero movie or something. Kenny went into the house while it was on fire and saved all of her animals and saved the people inside the house. Kenny saved this old lady from the fire and saved all of her animals, her dogs, her cat. I forget exactly what animals she had, but she had a couple different animals. And he was able to get them all out, save all of their lives from the fire. And he even tried putting the fire out. All of this before the fire department even showed up.
Like, Kenny's a real-life hero.
Yeah. Like, I seen that. I was like, wow. Like, I seen on Facebook, my mom posted that she was at the hospital. I was like, well, what's going on? Why is she at the hospital? And she commented on it. She said, Kenny went into this house to save all these people and these animals from the fire, and he breathed in a lot of smoke. And when he got back out, he said he couldn't catch his breath, and he felt like he was suffocating from breathing in all that smoke. So they took him to the hospital. But he's out now, and he's doing just fine and dandy. And yeah, he's like a real life superhero. That's crazy. We could have used him down here in Tennessee with all these fires going on.
I know, right? He could have been putting out forest fires. He's like Smokey the Bear, dude.
I know. They should do. The Detroit News needs to do an article on Kenny.
I know.
They need to interview him.
Only Kenny can stop forest fires. We should get him a hat for Christmas, right? We should get him a hat, like a Smokey the Bear hat. Really. Especially with his beard as epic as it is now, he kind of looks like Smokey the Bear.
I know he's got the epic beard going. I've been growing mine out all November. I guess they call it No Shave November. I don't really know. I just kind of grow mine out whenever I feel like it. I don't have a set month or day or time frame to do it. It's cold outside. I'm growing a beard.
Exactly. See, that's my thinking. I usually do it when it gets cold out because I'm not going to have a beard during the summer, bro.
Yeah, it's too hot for that, especially down here in the South. It's too hot for all that beard stuff in the summer.
I know, right?
But I wake up, I go to school every day, and I look like a crazy person going in the college every day because my hair is at this weird length where it just doesn't want to do anything. It's like not long, but it's not short either, and it's so thick and curly, it just kind of has a mind of its own. And then I got this full beard going on, and so I go into school looking like a crazy person half the time. People give me funny looks all the time. It cracks me up.
Maybe you should spike it like I do.
There's an idea.
That's actually originally that was how That was the reason why I spiked my hair in the first place. Most people don't know this, is a little unknown fact, but the reason why Spike spiked his hair in the first place was because my hair was cut too short, and I didn't want to put it. I didn't know what to do with it, So I'm like, all right, I'll just stick it up in the air, and then, then I got to a point where I would just spike it until it grew out long again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, my hair looks really good when it's really long, and it looks good when it's really short. And, like, anything in between is just weird.
Yep.
So if I don't like some type of product in it and style it, which I never do, it just does whatever it wants. But,
so let's get to our topic for the day.
The topic for the day is going to be about college. Because as a college student, I know what it's like to pay outrageous tuition costs. And I don't even go to I go to a community college right now, getting ready to transfer to university. And I used to go to the University of Michigan, and I ended up leaving there and moving to Tennessee for several reasons. But one of the biggest reasons was it was so expensive, and I was not going to be able to complete a degree without going into like tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And that's not something. The idea of that just it didn't sit well with me. I can't, I don't want to live my life in tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Now I'm going to this community college because I'm like, I could do my first 2 years and it'll be a lot cheaper, and I can pay for that just working a full-time job and going to school full-time. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And, I'm no stranger to hard work. I can work all day, every day, no problem. But these tuition costs are out of control. Especially like for summer classes. Let me give you an example. In the summertime, I took online classes in the summertime so I could work and I could do classes online. And they want to charge me a campus access fee for the summertime when I'm not even going to be on campus at all.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? And then in addition to the campus access fee, they're charging me a distance education fee for not being on campus. So they're simultaneously charging me for being on campus and not being on campus at the same time.
Wonton tacos, bro. That's a classic example of wonton tacos.
Yes, it is. Doesn't make no sense. Then they want to charge me extra fees for being online, and then they want to charge me a technology access fee, even though I'm using all my own technology to access this class. But sure, I'll pay you for it. Why not? All these.
When does it end?
Yeah, it doesn't end. They just every semester they find more and more and more ways to charge you. There's more little fees. That's where they get you. Like, they'll say $2,000 for tuition, but by the time they add all the little fees in there, it's like double. And then you got to pay like $200 for every book, and it's just ridiculous. And it's like, how do they on the community college level? It's possible to pay for if you don't have any other responsibilities. If you don't have kids, if you got a full-time job and no other responsibilities other than yourself, which I'm fortunate enough to be in that situation. I don't have a girlfriend or kids or dogs or anything. It's just me. So the only person I have to provide for is me. So I can save all my money, and I'm breaking even now because all the money I saved up, and then I pay off. I dip into my savings, pay my college tuition, and then I build it right back up to where it was. And then the next semester, I pay more again. And then I build it back up to where it was. So I'm kind of just breaking even. Basically, all the money I'm making is all the money I'm spending. Like, I'm not making any profit right now. It's just I'm breaking even. And I'm worried about how
it's going to get to a point, brother, where it's like you're going to have to pay a college drinking water fee and a college breathing air fee and just walking around the school fee. Like, when do the fees end?
I know. They make you pay for every page that you print in the library. Like, you can't print out papers without paying for it. Like, It's like, well, what's the technology access fee for if you're also charging me for using, like, you're charging me twice for using the technology. Okay, you want to charge me a technology access fee to access the printer. Okay, then why are you charging me an additional printing fee on top of that to print?
Exactly.
So you're charging me twice for the same thing, and it's ridiculous. Now I'm worried, how am I going to pay for this on the university level without, some type of substantial scholarships? Now I'm hoping I can get some scholarships. I got a 4.0, I'm on the president's list. I got a perfect GPA, high test scores, all that, whatever. So logically, I should be able to get some scholarships. But lately, I keep getting all these letters in the mail for scholarships that I'm not even eligible for. They say, hey, why don't you come and apply for this scholarship to go to our school? Like, I got one from the University of Tennessee. They're like, hey, you can get up to $5,000 a semester, if you apply for this scholarship. And then always in the fine print, they're like, you're only eligible if you graduated high school within the last 3 years. And I was like, well, it's coming up on that time. I graduated 4 years ago now. So why did you send me this? I'm always getting and a lot of times I get emails inviting me to apply for scholarships that are only for minorities. And I'm like, well, I'm not a minority, so why are you inviting me to apply for all these scholarships?
How is that going to help you? How is that going to benefit you?
You need to, if you're going to offer me scholarships that I am, that I fit the criteria.
Yeah.
Surely you have some type of scholarship for people that are working full time or something, or scholarship for whatever. I don't know. They got scholarships for all kinds of different things, but they only ever invite me to apply for the ones I'm not eligible for. It's irritating.
But I can see where the frustration would lead you.
Yeah.
And it's like, it puts you into a pickle because it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like, I want to go to start
applying
schools.
for them. I know I'm not eligible, but you're the one that invited me to apply for it, so here I am. Give me some money. And it's like, I wish, if when I transfer to a university, I plan on working full time as well as taking my university classes. But at the university level, that's not going to be enough.
Yep.
On the community college level, yeah, you can manage. You can manage if you don't have a lot of other bills. So I can manage. But on the university level, there's no way, because your tuition goes from it goes from $2,500 to $3,000 a month, or per semester, to $20,000 a semester. It's ridiculous. And the inflation with college tuition is that's ridiculous too.
I think that's just through the roof.
I think on average it went up $4,000 just this year. In some schools it's cool. Like Stanford, they just made a thing where anyone that makes less than, I think it was $125,000 a year. If your family makes less than $125,000 a year, you can go for free. I think Harvard has a similar thing, but most schools don't have that. University of Michigan, University of Tennessee, Southern California University, whatever university you want to go to. Most of them, they don't have that. So you got to find a way to pay for it. So it's
it can be difficult, when you're trying to do it on your own, and it can be difficult to try to manage and balance all that.
Now, let me tell you the worst.
And here's my theory, right?
Go ahead.
And now I'm just shooting in the dark here. I'm just hopeful thinking, but maybe once you get to the university level, you won't have as many fees, because the colleges, or the universities, they tend to get paid more than the community colleges. So I'm thinking that maybe it might be a community college thing, because they're not as big of a school, therefore they have to require more fees in order to make up for the funds that a big university might Yeah.
No, in a world that makes sense, that would make sense.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we live in this wonton taco world. It doesn't make sense. And like when I was at University of Michigan, it was the same thing. They charge you all the little fees that they can get out of you because at the end of the day, colleges it's a business. They're in it to make profit. They're not in it to help you. They're in it to help themselves. Like a college is a business, and they're gonna do what they do to make money. That's why the sports programs are so huge because colleges get most of their profits from these, from sports. Like University of Michigan, it's all about their football team. All about the football team. When I was there, that's all anyone cared about. They cared more about their football team than it seemed like. It seemed like they cared more about their football than they did about their actual academics. Now, I might be wrong there, but I mean,
No, you're probably
small money.
absolutely right, dude. Because my hometown was like that. My hometown, like, I mean, they cared about grades, they cared about you doing good in school. But if you were
Right.
a football player and you were on the team, like,
You had it made.
yeah, as long as this guy is throwing touchdowns or catching touchdowns or running the ball and catching touchdowns or preventing touchdowns, this guy can get away with anything.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, but that's the way it is. And it's,
Yeah.
what can you do? Now, here's where they really get you. And this isn't necessarily on the college's part. This is like, it's the FAFSA. Okay. The FAFSA, unless you meet these certain requirements, I think you have to be 24 years old, or you have to have children, or you have to be married, or own a home, or something like, there's these certain requirements. If you don't meet one of these requirements, then they consider you a dependent of your parents, and you can't file for financial aid as an independent. Like me, I live 600 miles away from my parents, and they're not helping me pay for college at all. They're not giving me a dime. But I still have to file as a dependent of them. I still have to file as if I was a member of their household. And I still have to report their income on my financial aid. And I'm not allowed to file as an independent. But yet it would be illegal for them to claim me as a dependent when they did their taxes because I don't live with them. I live in a different state, and I have my own job, and I support myself. So I have to file for my financial aid, as a dependent of them. But they can't even claim me as a dependent on their taxes. So what is that?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So then they're like, well, you don't need any financial aid because your parents are going to pay for it all. And I'm like, you want to call them and tell them that? Because
Exactly. Like, how can they assume something like that? You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of us out here that are paying our own way through. We're working full-time jobs, and we're working hard, and we're going to college full-time, trying to make a career for ourselves. And we're not getting help from anybody. But, and it's like, I'm not 24 years old. I don't own a house. I'm not married. I don't have children. And I'm not going to be any one of those things anytime soon because that's just even more expensive.
You want to grow your education. You want to grow your profession. You want to grow your career. You want to do all that before you get mixed up in that.
Exactly. So it's hard to, it's hard to manage. And so what do you do? And now a lot of people think education should be free. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because how would free college, how would making college free affect the overall economy? I think it'd be interesting. It'd come out of tax dollars, and some people are saying that, that would be worth it. Some people are saying it's too much. What are your thoughts on that? Should college tuition be free?
Let's look at the whole world for a second, okay? Like I said, I did 3 years in the military, 10 months in Iraq, okay? I was all through Europe. And one of the things that I found particularly interesting was the fact that both healthcare and education are free in Europe. And you know what that makes me think? Okay, I think that there are certain things that should be free. I think education and healthcare should be free.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why Europeans are a lot healthier than we are. Because they're not struggling with countless medical bills that can rise and rise and rise, and they're not out there providing health care to make a profit. They're providing health care to benefit people. And just like education, Europe has some of the highest test scores, some of the highest education in the entire world. And it's free. So you know what that tells me? That tells me that if we were to provide a free educational service, a free educational program, people will be more willing to learn because they have the opportunity to. If you give people the tools, the resources, and the opportunity to better themselves, they will. Now, granted, just like in every situation, just like in every scenario, past, present, and future, there is going to be a 6% variability. There is going to be the 6% that drops the ball, that messes it up, that, that doesn't benefit from it. But what you have to worry about is that other 94%. They are the majority. And if you provide that to them, they will learn, they will grow, and they will want to do something with their life. So many adults and individuals and human beings nowadays, they get worn down, they get beaten down, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, paying bills upon bills, handling kids, handling house stuff. And what happens is they don't get to get that education.
Right.
And there's a lot of them that want that. I know I can name 5 people off the top of my head right now that if education was free, they would go to school and they would get their educations and better themselves. But because we put a price on that, that's what's holding them back.
True. Now I have a couple points. I've never been to Europe, so I don't know. I've never seen firsthand how it is over there as far as that is concerned. I don't mind paying for education, and I understand that teachers, they need their salaries. The school needs to make enough money to pay all their staff members and everything like that. So I don't mind paying for an education. I don't necessarily need it to be free, but I think it is ridiculously overpriced right now, and it could be a lot cheaper than it is. I'm not saying it needs to be free or that I want it to be absolutely free. Whatever. I'm getting a service. They're providing me with education that's going to benefit my future. I'm okay paying for that. I just think it's way overpriced at the moment, and I think it should be. Now, another point is, with your education, it also depends on the type of degree you get, because you can get a lot of people get degrees that they never end up even using. A lot of people get degrees that there's no job market for. And so, especially if education was free and everybody had access to education and everyone could get a degree, it seems like the people that go into the hardest majors, the ones that are most difficult, the ones that nobody else wants to do, those might be the ones that benefit the most from that, because they're going to be the ones that get the highest paying jobs, because they go into the fields that are most difficult, that have the most demand, because not everybody's going to want to do that. If education's free, people are going to want to go in, well, it's free, let me do something I enjoy doing and try to make something of my life that I really like doing. And some people are going to say, well, let me go into something practical. Let me go into, electrical engineering. And, it's really hard, but, it's going to pay really good. So you got different types of people that are going to do that. So let me ask you this from that. Do you think if college was free and everyone was able to get a college degree, do you think that diminishes the value of the college degree? Do you think that like a college degree would be useless now that everyone has one?
No,
because right now, everyone could get a high school diploma, but a high school diploma doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee you a job. It doesn't,
yeah.
It's not worth much these days. So you think that could be the case with a 4-year degree as well?
No, this is what I think. I think it's one of those things, Russell, that if you made it free to someone, it is still based on the individual to do the homework, to put in the work to earn that degree.
Yeah. The responsibility is all on you.
So
that
I mean,
hasn't changed regardless of whether it's free or not.
Exactly. And so the merit, the quality of the degree is determined upon the individual if they are able to handle those challenges and earn that degree.
Or you have to have the drive and the motivation and the determination to get to where you want to be. You have to network. You have to meet people. You have to put yourself out there for everyone to see, and you have to show them what you got. And eventually somebody's going to come along, and they're going to see you, and they're going to say, wow, that guy has something. I want him on my team because I think he can benefit my company. And you can sell yourself that way. But a lot of people, they go and they just go through the motions of going to college. They're told from the time that they're little, if you go to college and you get a degree, you're going to be rich, you're going to be successful, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're going to get the job you've always wanted. It's just going to come to you just because you have a college degree. And in reality, that's not true.
Exactly. And I think that the degree will really separate who earns it and who doesn't. Because even if it's free and you do the class, doesn't mean you're going to ace it. And at the same time, those who are poor or can't afford it, if they have education that's free to them, we could see more poor people rising up and getting good degrees, and it won't be held against them, their financial status. That finally their merit, their mind, their ability to take the information and transform it and learn it and obtain it will finally shine through. So I think that I think that it will open up a bigger audience of people that will have the opportunity to get the degree without diminishing the quality of the degree.
That's true. That is true. That's a very interesting way to look at it. And I think you're right. I think it all depends on the individual, and it depends on how you approach the situation. Whether you have to be smart about it, and but also consider that everyone comes from a different background. Some people have had a harder life than other people. Some people have had it easy, and they think it's just going to continue to come easy to them as long as they do what they're told, and they go to college, and they do what people have been telling them they're going to do the whole life. They think it's going to be easy. And then some people have a really hard life, and they've struggled all their life, and now they've got this opportunity, and they're not going to waste a second. They're going to be working to get to where they want because they know how hard reality is.
Exactly.
So you have people from all different walks of life and going into this. So it really just depends on where your mind is at when you're going into it. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail sometimes, as long as you get back up and you try again, you learn.
And you learn from that mistake, and you learn not to make it again.
Yeah, you're gonna mess up times in your life. You might lose jobs sometimes in your life. You might get depressed. You might get down. You might get lonely. You might get sad and beaten down and feel like you can't get back up, but you do, because when it comes down to it, what else are you gonna do? You can't wallow in your sadness and failure and think that it's over, because it's not. You can always get back up.
The only way out is through. The only way out is through your problem.
And it's always very stressful. But once you push through, you feel so good about yourself. Like I know, like when I'm all the hard work of going to school every day and staying up all night to study for every test and acing every test and just working hard. And then when you finally get that acceptance letter into the college of your dreams, like that's like the most joyful moment of your life. Like you feel like you've accomplished everything you've been working for, and it's a really great feeling. And anybody can achieve that if they, if they put in the work, they work for it. So I think this has been a great talk.
Yep, I agree.
And I think we could continue this in another podcast coming up in the future.
I'm Spyke Vonshadow.
I'm Russell Hamilton.
We'll see you next time.